What's going on, guys? Professor here, and today I'm coming at you with a LEGO Star Wars comparison video. Today we're going to be comparing the two Corporate Alliance tank droids, the one from 2009 on the left, and the one from 2013 on the right. As always, if you do enjoy, don't forget to go down there and hit that like button, and if you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into this. It has been a while since I've done a comparison, so I'll do a quick overview of how I do these for those who've never seen one of these before that I've done. So I go through 5 categories, and I rank each thing. Each set, those categories are minifigures, the cost of the set, the features, the displayability, and just my overall opinion. And then in each of those categories, I rank it on a 1 to 4, 1 being the worst, just kind of like really bad, and then 4 being the best or really good. And then I have a 2 and a 3 in between, which is kind of 2 is kind of like needs improvement, and then a 3 is pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's jump straight into it and start off with the minifigures. Alright, so these 4 minifigures are from the 2009 set. This set was given set number 7748, retailed for $25 with 216 pieces, and these 4 minifigures shown right here. Overall, for the time, this was about what you'd expect in a set like this, very basic minifigures. You have the 2 regular B1 battle droids there on the right, nothing special at all going on there. And then these 2 clone jet troopers. The only difference in these guys is the fact that they have a jetpack on their backs, but otherwise these have the exact same printing, face, helmet, everything is the same as a regular clone trooper. So overall, now I'm not necessarily disappointed with the fact that these minifigures are basic, but it definitely does leave a little bit to be desired. I do like how in such a small set they did include 4 minifigures. That's very nice, but I definitely would have liked to see a little bit more variety, maybe some more, not necessarily exclusivity, but just some more desirable minifigures in this, because overall this isn't necessarily a set that I feel like would attract a ton of attention, like, oh yeah, gotta get that Corporate Alliance tank droid, and I think they really could have spiced that up with some of these minifigures, but overall, not terrible minifigures, just a little underwhelming. And so for that, I probably put it somewhere in the 2 to 3 range, more on the 2 side though, just because I really feel like they could have improved this, or the minifigures for this set, that is, a little bit more. But yeah, that's how I feel about these guys, so let's talk about the 2013 minifigures. So these guys are the ones that are included in the 2013 set. This set was given set number 75015, actually retailed for $20 with 271 pieces, and like you can see here, it comes with these 3 minifigures. Just like the other Corporate Alliance tank droid, includes a droid and a clone. Obviously this is a Geonosis battle droid though, however, it has the kind of dark orangey, kind of brown coloration of the B1 battle droid. Otherwise there isn't that much difference. It does have a 1x2 plate on the back, however. That is really the only difference other than the coloration. And that is because this one is modeled after Attack of the Clones Corporate Alliance tank droids, whereas the other one is from the Clone Wars TV show. So that is a minor difference between these two. And then this clone trooper over here is very similar, but like I said, it's modeled after an Attack of the Clones trooper, so it's not as cartoony and has some slightly different printing. Neither one of them have leg printing, unfortunately, but the chest printing is a little bit more updated, looks more realistic, as I said, not as cartoonish. Same with the helmet there, and then the face printing is very similar. But like I keep saying, not as cartoonish, not as exaggerated, but very similar. And then this guy comes with a super long rifle right there. And then the final minifigure included in this one is actually a Jango Fett, which is exclusive to this set. He looks very nice, very solid chest and leg printing. There's some nice silverish design. The helmet is silver, and then the coloration on there with that nice blue. And then he also has the silver jetpack there on the back. I really love this Jango Fett minifigure. Very nice. Overall, I think they did a great job with this set. Like I said, just kind of spicing in the other one. Just kind of spicing it up with the minifigures, throwing in, obviously you just have a regular clone, which is nice, there's nothing wrong with that, but then you kind of spice it up with a little different coloration on the battle droid. Not a ton different, but it's just something that kind of attracts your attention, as well as the exclusive Jango Fett, which is really nice that they threw him in here. It was a really nice inclusion in this set, and something that I really liked seeing them do at the time, and definitely attracted me more toward this set. But yeah, for this one, I'm definitely going to be giving the minifigures a 4. It does have one less minifigure, you could say, but I definitely think the quality of the minifigures included makes up for the fact that there is one less in this one. But yeah, that's it for the minifigure section, so I'll tally up what we got so far and move on to cost. Alright, so with the minifigure section out of the way, you can see right here on the table we have those tallied. 2009 gets a 2 and 2013 with a 4 right there. We're moving on to the next section, which is cost. And now with this section, what I like to do is try to put myself in the mind of somebody in 2009 or in 2013, whatever year the set was released, look at the price and say, do I feel like I'm getting a good value for what I'm paying here? So in this case, the 2009, that is the $25, and then the 2013, this is $20. So I'll start off with the one there on the left, the 2009 one. Going in, $25, looking at this at the time, it's honestly not terrible. The set is a little bit small, but you get 4 minifigures, and the detailing on it is very nice. Those printed pieces on the side obviously accentuate the set a lot, in my opinion. And the Clone Wars was a really big thing back in that time at this point. So, I mean, LEGO knew, no matter what, the Clone Wars, it's going to sell. So, honestly, I don't think this is a bad value. I'd probably give it a 3 on my scale. I think that's very nice. 216 pieces, $25, 4 minifigures. I think this is a very fair value right there. Now, the one for 2013 is actually $5 less at $20 and comes with more pieces. And so, despite the fact that the design maybe not necessarily that the design isn't as good, but the fact that you lose the printed pieces, which is one of my favorite parts about the 2009, and I'll show that off in more detail a little bit later. But the fact that you decrease the price by $5 and it released 4 years later, and you're getting more for it, and in my opinion, better minifigures, this is an absolutely amazing set for the value at the time for what you're paying. I mean, $20 for a set of this size. It's larger than the previous one. The entire set comes with more pieces. You get better minifigures, in my opinion. I think the design overall actually does look better. This is definitely, once again, another 4. I think the 2013 Corporate Alliance Tank Droid here absolutely blows everything out of the water in terms of the value that you're getting for that $20 price tag. And this is definitely something that you could point to in terms of, like, I know a lot of people these days are saying LEGO is overpriced. While LEGO does have certain sets that may appear to be a little bit more expensive than they initially seem to be valued at, there are plenty of sets that you can find some great value on, especially if things are on sale. I mean, you look at that $20 price tag and you assume people are probably buying it on sale for maybe $16. Absolutely amazing value. Definitely going to give 2013 a 4 for this one. In 2009, still not bad. Going to be getting a 3 for the cost. So now, after the cost section, we have more input on the table. We got the 2013 right now at 8 points and the 2009 at 5 points. Moving on to the next category, which is going to be features. And this is kind of similar to, I guess you could say, playability. What does this set offer in terms of value and things that you can do with it? So I'll move the figures out of the way because these both have a movement feature that I really like and actually works on both of them, which is very nice. So I'll show that off first. Obviously, as most of you probably know and have seen in the movies or animated TV show or whatever, this track right here allows it to roll, and so you can move both of these forward and back. You can kind of see that track moving. This one is a little bit wonky. This one is very loose as compared to this one. This one is very tight on here. This one's a little bit more loose, so I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that it is a little bit more difficult to roll, in my opinion, but it does roll very nicely and it works, at least on a solid surface. I imagine it would be a little bit more difficult on carpet, but a solid surface like a table or something like this, it definitely rolls very nicely. Same with this one right here. You can kind of see it that it rolls, but this one I actually have a little bit more difficulty if you don't press down on it. Like, theoretically, you're just kind of dragging it along. It doesn't really move, but once you press down on it, it does move very nicely, whereas this one, however, does just kind of move on its own, and then you can kind of press it down, and it doesn't. So it actually works the opposite way, which is very interesting. I definitely think that probably has something to do with the fact that this one's a little bit tighter or whatnot. But yeah, this one you just kind of drag along and it'll move, and then this one, if you just drag it along, it doesn't really move at all. You have to kind of press it down. So it's not really a knock on either set. The function works on both, it's just slightly different, so that's something that doesn't really bother me. You are able, on both of these, to move these front things up and down. I guess if you want to act as though it's kind of like scaling something and it's moving upward. I don't entirely know why you would want to move these, but on both of them, they can be moved. Not quite 360 degrees, or these ones actually can move 360 degrees. But once again, I don't really know why you would necessarily need to do that or want to do that or anything like that. But that is a feature that is on these. Otherwise, the only real other feature is these weapons on the side. I don't entirely know if this was intended because this is a very long, like flick fire missile or whatever, but you can actually like shoot these out like that. It's this entire thing, which is super weird because I feel like it should just look like a gun. But that is something that can pop out. Whereas this one actually has like 3 different sections, 2 guns, and then it has a smaller flick fire missile right here, as you can see in standard size, and there's one of those on each side. So they both kind of have missiles that you can fire off on both sides. It's a little weird how they both work, but yeah. Otherwise, there really isn't that much. You can move the eyes side to side if you want, but I mean, there's no real reason to do that other than to make it look super weird, because for the most part, you just kind of leave them looking like that. But yeah, otherwise, there isn't a ton going on with this set. It's very simple. The main feature is the fact that you can kind of roll it on its tread, and that they kind of have some missiles that you can fire off. I'll probably give both of them a 4 here, just because while maybe there isn't a ton going on, their main feature actually works, and they have some other bonus features that you can kind of add on to the side, which I think makes these very playable, very effective for what you're buying. It's not like something that you build and then you're like, oh, well, this tread doesn't work, that sucks, so I basically can't do anything with this other than put it on a shelf and collect dust. So yeah, both of them work very nicely, and so both going to get a 4 for the features. Let's check out the displayability next. Alright, chugging right along here, and after 3 sections, we have 2013 at 12 points, and 2009 at 9 points. You can see right there. We're moving on to displayability next. And so this is kind of basically the whole design. How do I feel about the way it was designed and how it would look if you were just kind of plopping it down somewhere and someone came to come look at it? How would it look there on display? Overall, I feel like these are very similar in terms of how I feel about them in display, and that's because they did have different features that I like about them. Moving over to the 2009 one right here. Overall, I don't quite think that the design of this one is quite as good. Obviously, this is modeled after the Clone Wars one, so I don't entirely know if it's as accurate or not. What I do really like is this giant printed piece right here, that this is not a sticker. That adds a ton of detail to this set, which I really love. But it just seems kind of small, and there isn't a whole ton of design going on with it. It's just kind of all light and dark gray, and then all you really have is the tread in the middle and the printing on the side, as well as these kind of yellow eyes up here. But otherwise, there really isn't a ton to look at, but that printing does really accentuate it. Whereas you compare this to the 2013 version, and in my opinion, I think that this one is designed much better. I think it is much nicer to look at. You have some coloring just kind of sprinkled about. There's not a ton, but there's a little bit of that trans orange in there. You just kind of have some minor detailing all over, and then obviously you have the tread in the middle here, but just some minor detailing that makes it a little prettier to look at. However, it does not have the printed piece on the side, which is very unfortunate, because I think that makes this center area look very awkward, especially when you compare it to this one, where, I mean, you kind of look and you see that there's some stuff there. Here, it just looks super bland, and in my opinion, it is a little weird to look at. And because of that, I think I'm going to give both of them a 3 in this category, because I definitely think the 2013 overall is designed better. It's nicer to look at, but looks kind of awkward in that middle area without the printing. And the 2009 version maybe isn't designed quite as well, but I really, really love those giant printed pieces in the middle, and they really make the way that I look at this a lot nicer. And I definitely think that they both bring a little bit to the table while leaving a little bit more to be desired. But that is it for the displayability section. Let's move on to the final category, which is just my overall opinion. Alright, so tallying the total before the final here, we have the 2009 version at 12 points and the 2013 version at 15 points. Moving on to the final category, which is just my general opinion, and as I've discussed throughout this video, and as you've probably discovered, I definitely think that the 2013 version is a step up from 2009. I do think the overall design is better, the minifigures are better, I like the color design better. I think it's a better value for its price. Overall, I definitely think the 2013 version is the superior model. Now, do I think it can be improved? I definitely think that it can be improved upon, excuse me, but I do think that the 2013 version of this particular set is much better than the 2009. And so for that, I'll be giving the 2013 a 3 here, because like I said, I do think it can be improved, and I'm going to be giving the 2009 version a 2, because I do think it is a slight step down from where the 2013 version is at, but it is not bad. It just definitely could and was improved on by the 2013 version, and I definitely think that the 2013 version can be improved even farther. So checking out the final tallies, we have a score of 14 for 2009 and a score of 18 for the 2013 version. So based on my kind of made up comparison scale, I definitely think the 2013 version is better, but I definitely do agree with my scale there that I do think 2013 just overall is the better set. But guys, that'll be it for this first comparison that I've done in a while. As always, if you do enjoy, don't forget to go down there and hit that like button. And if you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.